what would you say is your greatest weakness?
So uh, I have this personality that I want to know everything and learn everything. Anything that interests me, I right away want to learn it, So, and I like also uh, being challenged. So sometimes I pick up way too many things and I can't really handle them after getting involved. For example, during my sophomore year, second semester of the sophomore year in college, I was uh, working full time. I was going to school full time with 5 classes. I was a president of a business club, a board member at another club. I was also transferring. I was trying to transfer to a top school. And I was trying to get into investment banking, networking, and learning how to do financial modeling. So everything all together really started stressing me, and at some point I couldn't handle it anymore. But I this was the point where I really learned how to prioritize my obligations. So I was able to create a schedule where I put all my responsibilities that I had to do at specific times during the week. And I pretty much schedule my whole week down to like 15-minute increments. So this was the only way I could handle and go through that semester. Uh, and I really learned that I have to concentrate more on one or two things, not pick up that many responsibilities, but pick up less and more focus on them and spend more time on improving on them.
I think a couple things. One, I was gonna say this for your last answer, I forgot. You have this habit, and you can go back and watch this recording, and you'll probably hear this. Like once you hear it, you can't unhear it. But you do this thing before you all of your sentences like a lot. It's like probably every 3 seconds you'll say uh uh like it's pretty noticeable actually. So you want to like those habits are hard to break, but you want to the
Mhm.
first step is self-awareness, and then once you're aware of it, like you want to catch yourself doing that and then slowly kind of like wean off of it. So that's on the delivery front. In terms of like the content itself, personally, I don't like this was okay. I don't love when people say like, my greatest weakness is I take on too much stuff. Like it feels to me, and I'm sure it feels like this to a lot of interviewers too. Like when people say, I'm too hard on myself, or oh, I'm such a perfectionist, or I work too hard sometimes. Like it's just like, come on, bro. Like, give me a real weakness, not like like a fake, like a strength dressed up as a weakness, right? Like that's how a lot of people are gonna feel.
Mhm.
Like, oh, roll their eyes, like another one of these. I mean, the reason why I said it was okay is because you actually gave like an example of when you did that and how it hurt you. But then like you kind of did, you kind of didn't. You just said like everything altogether started stressing me out, and at some point I couldn't handle it anymore. Right? I don't know what that means. Like did your grades start suffering, or like did you have a mental breakdown? Like because it could be anything, right? um and then like the most important part of these answers for like weakness questions or setback questions, failure questions, is more like, so then like what did you do about it, and how did you work on this issue, right? um And you did address that too, right? You start prioritizing, you create a schedule, you break everything down in 15-minute increments. Um, so that's why I said it's like it's okay. Like that middle part was probably like okay. But then the takeaway was like, I really learned that I have to concentrate on one or two things. and pick up less, but focus more on improving them. Well, guess what? When you work in investment banking, like you're gonna have to probably work on more than just one or two things at any given time,
Okay.
right? So it's like either this comes across as not a real weakness, or okay, I buy it. This is a real weakness, but what you're telling me is that I don't know what you're not good at multitasking, right? Which
Yeah. Yeah.
which is like, in a module we say like when you pick your weakness, don't use like a detrimental weakness. I would say this could potentially come across as like a detrimental weakness where it's like, well, I don't know if he's a good fit for banking, right? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So I would try to honestly, if I were you, I would try to pick like a different weakness altogether. Um, Everybody's got weaknesses. Like let's just be honest. Like if we really do some introspection, like everyone's got weaknesses. Um, it's okay to be honest about what your weaknesses are. The more important part is like again talking about how you've addressed that weakness. That the one that you have the self awareness to know what it is, and two, you've actually done something about it. And if you haven't done anything about it, then you got to make something up in terms of what you've been doing about it, and then like in real life, maybe you should actually go do something about it.
Yeah.
But does
So,
that make
but
sense?
yeah, yeah. But what the thing is with the weakness questions, I tried. I mean, you said that you should pick something that's not like super bad, right? Like detrimental to investment banking. So something that's kind of a weakness, but not really. So that's why I chose this. Like, if I choose like a real weakness, like laziness, procrastination, like those would be probably really bad, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't talk about those. Yeah, so that's why I try to choose something, that I don't know, it's not like that bad, but it sounds like a weakness.
Well, it's a
Another
bad
one is like impatience. I don't know. I chose impatience. I'm impatient. So I don't know. I get,
impatience can work.
okay.
It can work. People use that one. You again, you need to not just state the weakness, but give an example of a time when that weakness actually hurt you,
Okay.
right? So it's like if
Mhm.
you just say, yeah, like I'm pretty impatient. So a time when that really hurt me was I don't know, you rushed through something and then like ended up making a mistake in your work or something, right? Like for example, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
ever since then, like that's something that I've been actively working on, and here are like the 3 to 5 things that I've done to get better at that, right? And as
Mhm.
a result of me doing that, gotten a lot better at it. This is whatever some positive result that came from it. Still not perfect at it though, so it's something I'm going to continue to work on because I know that, especially, and then you can tie it back to banking, which is the key takeaway at the end. So I know that in the future, especially if I'm working in banking, it's going to be really easy for me to just get impatient about things as I'm doing my work because it's a very fast paced job and clients are very demanding, right? But um, I know I have to like just like really slow down sometimes and make sure that double checking my work and not making silly mistakes in the client deliverables because these are very important projects or presentations that I'll be working on, right? Something like that that ties it back to the job so that you show that you understand what's at stake, right?
Yeah. Got it.
Even something like that would be better than, the one that you have here. But to your point though, it's yes, I would not use laziness or procrastination or any of those. Like those are
Those are like bad.
also detrimental.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a spectrum. Like don't use the horrible ones, but don't use like the ones that sound like they're actually not real weaknesses either. Then there's like
Yeah.
a stuff in between. That's what you're looking for, right?
Hmm. Got it.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.